FIFO. FIFO is first in first out memory. We will see the Verilog design of or RTA level design of FIFO. So FIFO, what is FIFO? FIFO is otherwise called as first in first out memory. It is a special type of buffer. Buffers are actually physical area of memory storage. It's part of memory storage and it is used temporarily to store data while it is being moved from one place to another. The other type of buffer is called as last in first out memory or LIFO. It is also called as stack memory. First in first out is a method that relates to the organization and manipulation of data according to time and prioritization. FIFO is also called as queue. Data is released from the buffer in the order of its arrival. The first data which is added to the queue will be the first data to be removed. So this is called as queue. Processing continues to proceed sequentially in the same order. So this is the data flow in first in first out memory. The data comes and it gets stored, it goes to another location, it physically moves, and finally it is taken out in the output code, and which comes first will go out first. This is the first in first out data flow. What is the need for FIFO? What are the places or where we apply this FIFO? First in first out memory is used for buffering between devices that operate at different speeds or in applications where data must be stored temporarily for further processing. Typically this is used to increase the bandwidth and to prevent data loss during high-speed communication. FIFO is used to solve inter-chip communication protocol problems such as rate matching, buffering, and bus matching. FIFO is used for synchronization purposes in computer and CPU hardware. FIFO specifications. FIFO memory varies in terms of density, number of words, bits per word, supply voltage, and operating temperature. Density is the capacity of the chip in bits. The number of words equal to the number of rows, each of which stores a memory word and connects to a word line for addressing purposes. Bits per word are number of columns, each of which connects to a sense or write circuit. Selecting FIFO memory requires an analysis of the performance specifications such as access time, data rate, data setup time, and data hold time. Types of FIFO. Generally, there are two types of FIFO. One is asynchronous FIFO and another one is synchronous FIFO. An asynchronous FIFO uses the same clock for reading and writing. A synchronous FIFO uses separate clocks for reading and writing. In asynchronous FIFO, data values are written into the FIFO buffer from one clock domain and the data values are read from the same FIFO buffer from another clock domain, where the two clock domains are asynchronous to each other. Asynchronous FIFO are used to safely pass data from one clock domain to another clock domain. Now we are going to see the design of synchronous FIFO only. The asynchronous FIFO consists of a storage array with control logic that manages the read and write operations and generates status flags. There will be many flags. The number of rows in the array is called as depth of the FIFO, and the bit length of each row is called as the width of the FIFO. The synchronous FIFO has single clock port for both data read and data write operations. Data presented at the module's input port DN is returned into the next available empty location on a rising clock edge when the write request input, a write signal, is high. There is a general block diagram of FIFO. You will have a write control signal, read control signal, a data in bus, a clock, a reset, and then data out bus, and then two flags. Usually there will be two flags, empty and full. The flags, the FIFO flags will give you the status of the FIFO. So the FIFO, if FIFO is full, the full flag will be high. If the FIFO is empty, the empty flag will be high. So the FIFO full status indicates there is no empty locations remain in the module module for another storage. Data can be read out of the FIFO via modules data out in order in which it was being returned by asserting the read request prior to raising the clock. The empty status indicates that there is no more data resides in the FIFO's memory and you cannot do any read operation. The FIFO status cannot be corrupted by invalid request. The requesting a read operation while empty flag is active will not cause any change in the current state of the FIFO. Similarly, a write operation while a full flag is active will not cause any change in the current state of the FIFO. The reset signal clears the internal control logic and the status flags. This is a simple block expanded internal block diagram of the FIFO. You will have a write logic, you will have a write block, you will have a read block, and this is the actual FIFO memory. And here there is a counter block, and then pointers are there and flag generators are there. So data in the data 8-bit data or the full width of the data. Okay, a word comes in this along the data line and then it goes to the RAM, and there will be a clock signal which comes to every block, and then there is a read control signal and a write control signal, and there is a reset signal which will reset all the internal pointers, internal registers of the FIFO. And the pointers usually will have a read pointer and write pointer. The read pointer will indicate the location from which you are going to read, and the write pointer will have the location which is now available for doing the writing operation. And then there will be a counter part which will have a count of the number of locations which are already being written, which is having the data. Some examples of FIFO ICs available in the market. So the FIFO ICs are manufactured by different companies like Texas Instruments, National Instruments, Future Technology Devices, and many other companies. And these are some examples of FIFOs available in the market. So 74F433 is a FIFO memory from NI. It has 64 bits words, 4-bit words, and it comes in a 28 dual inline package. Similarly, 54F and 74F413 is also from NI, and this is also the same configuration which comes in 28 pin. And then FT245B is from Future Technology Devices International, and it is a 384 byte FIFO which is used for USB. And AL422B is used for video frame memory, and it is the sizes density is 384K into 8 bits, and it is manufactured by Average Technology. Okay, now coming back to the block diagram. The pointer block provides read and write pointers according to the read and write operations in the queue, and the count block keeps track of the number of data in the queue and issues empty and full flags. These flags are generated by combination blocks using the present count of data as input. The read block uses the read pointer and the write to read from the queue, and the write block uses the write pointer to write into the memory. The read and write block share the FIFO RAM memory. Read and write operations are synchronized with the circuit clock. And now we'll see the Verilog code, how to write the Verilog code for FIFO. And this example is taken from Nawabi. Module before data in module FIFO, data in, clock, reset, read, write, empty, full, FIFO count, data out. So these are the signals of FIFO, and the module is named as FIFO, and the input is, I have taken a 8-bit word, so 1 byte, every word is having 1 byte, so input data in is 7 down to 0 data in, and these are the control signals, and we have a clock signal, reset signal, read control signal, and write control signal, also called as read enable and write enable signal. And these are the two flags I have, empty and full, and this is for telling the FIFO count at any point of time, and this is the actual output from the FIFO. And then this is how we will declare the memory. So register 7 down to 0, and FIFO RAM, it is a 16 word RAM. So I have defined FIFO of size 16 by 8 by using this particular statement, reg 7 down to 0. FIFO RAM is the name of the RAM I am using, 0 down to 15, and each of 8 bits. And then these are the pointers, so read pointer and write pointer are declared as registers, and the empty flag will be assigned 1, or it will get a value 1 if FIFO count is equal to 0. So if the FIFO count, the register FIFO count value is 0, empty flag will be 1, and if the FIFO count is equal to 16, the full flag will be 1. And now we will come to the operation. This is the write operation. Always at passage clock, begin write. If write and if it is not full, you can write. If the write enable signal is there and if the FIFO is not full, you can do the write operation. So you are checking these two conditions, write and, this is the logical and, double and is the logical and. If write is high and if not full is high, you can write into the FIFO RAM. So how you will write into the FIFO RAM is, this is how you will access the FIFO RAM. So FIFO RAM of, okay, write pointer, this is the address. So FIFO RAM can be from 0 to 15. So the write pointer value will come here, and it will indicate the location which is available. So the data in will come into this particular location. Else if write and read both are high, FIFO, then also you can write into the FIFO RAM. If reading and writing can happen at the same time, then also you can write into the FIFO RAM. So this is the block for this, the always block, which is used for write operation. And for read operation, we have another always block, always at passage clock, begin read. If read and if it is not empty, if the read enable signal is high and if it is not empty, data out is equal to FIFO RAM of read pointer. Else if read and write and empty, everything is available, then also data out is equal to FIFO RAM of read pointer. So from this location the data will come out. If the read signal is there, if the write signal is there, and if it is empty, the signal which is coming in, the data which is coming in will be coming out into the data out. And now this is for the pointer, for fixing the value of the pointer. Always at passage clock, begin pointer. If reset, all the pointers will be reset to 0. So write pointer is 0, read pointer is 0. So this is the first condition we have to check. If reset, both the pointers are 0. Else begin write pointer will be incremented by 1, or it will remain the same depending on the condition. So let us see the condition. If write and not full, if write and read, if write and not full, and if write and read, if both the conditions are, if any one of the conditions is true, the write pointer will be incremented by 1, otherwise write pointer will remain the same. Similarly, if read and not empty, and if write and read, if both these conditions, any one of these conditions is true, read pointer will increment by 1, otherwise it will remain the same. And then for counter, if reset, FIFO count is equal to 0. Else, depending on the write and read condition. So if write operation, read operation, if both are 0, FIFO count will remain the same. If write operation is 1, if write is 1 and read is, if write is 0 and if read is 1, FIFO count will be equal to 4-0. Okay, you are checking this condition. If this condition is true, it will remain the same. Otherwise FIFO count will be FIFO count minus 1 because you are reading something. And if you are writing something similar thing, and then you will have FIFO count will be incremented by 1 because you are doing a write operation. And then otherwise if both read and write are done at the same time, FIFO count will remain the same. Default is FIFO count is equal to FIFO count. So this is the end of the program, and this is how you will define a simple FIFO in Verilog. This is a synthesizable code. You can write it, and you can. This is the logic of FIFO. This is the simplest logic. The logic of FIFO described in the simplest form, and using this, it can have more flags like almost empty, almost full, and so on. You can add some more flags, half full, half empty. All those things you can add, and by manipulating the FIFO count. And this is, for example, this is the basic example, and with this you can develop a complicated FIFO, a synchronous FIFO or an asynchronous FIFO. This is for giving you a basic idea about FIFO. Hope you all understand. Thank you.